Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're having a great week so far. And welcome to this new video in your daily update on XRP. We're going to do a full update on XRP right now. We'll talk a little bit about the technicals. I don't think the technicals have changed much since the video I did yesterday. There are some things, though, that I think have changed in a general markets technically that I do think are relevant for XRP as well. So we'll talk about that, and I think that's bullish. I think it increases the probability of getting a move up higher, which I have always predicted, right? If you watch my last couple of videos at least, especially after the move we had on Tuesday, which Tuesday evening we saw quite a lot of momentum for XRP specifically. What I said is that I thought, maybe we're going to fill some of those imbalances, which we have done so far. But afterwards, I do think we're going to see a move up higher, with my main target being 3.3, even though I think that's a little bit difficult to get there. And the problem with that is that I think XRP is bullish, or at least I think it's more likely that XRP is going to get a move up rather than a move down, although there is some news coming out, which we'll talk about at the end of the video. But there is a lot of liquidity and there's a lot of resistance right here between 3.13 and 3.07. So very often in my last videos, I called 3.13 as my first price target, and I will keep that as my first price target, being relatively conservative, which I have gotten a little bit more conservative in my trading and investing in crypto. So maybe that's a sign of the times, who knows. But okay, so we'll talk about that. Even though we had some relative momentum on Tuesday, XRP at this point of time doesn't have that, which I say this very often, but that's a blessing and a curse. XRP is just very stable, right? And that's also the case right now. Almost have to sneeze. I'm going to try to keep it in. But there's one coin right now that's really stealing the spotlight. And that is Solana, right? And it's very often, or it barely happens that two major ecosystems, which I would call XRP an ecosystem, it's very unlikely that two of them will rally at the same time. There's also no real sign of momentum right now for XRP. So I think most of that momentum will go towards Solana right now. And it could be some sort of a fake out. It could be fake momentum. But as it stands right now, it's most likely that it's real momentum, right? So I think that XRP has shown some great signs right here of stability. I'm going to have to do my best to edit that out, but I'm not sure what's going on. We're showing great signs of actually, holding support right here and actually gaining some momentum here and there as well. So that's why I think it's most likely we are going to be moving out into 3.07 and 3.13, potentially with a move. I mean, we have some major news today, potentially with some sort of a spike or a short-term move into this area right here at 2.94, where we have a fair value gap. That's also a little bit below the 7-day rolling VWAP, and to have a naked point of control a little bit lower, right? So I would be prepared for that. We have GDP data and initial jobless claims data coming out today. We have the core PCE price index, which is basically inflation rate data, coming out tomorrow. So a move like that, I would argue, is quite likely. But then from that move, I do expect support, and I do expect a continuation up higher into the 30-day rolling VWAP again. We also hit that on Tuesday and into 3.13. And then from there we'll see. I mean, I think we need some sort of relative strength from XRP to actually rally up higher into that fair value gap, for example, at 3.26. So for now, I'm not going to call that, but I do think something like this is most likely. Unless we all of a sudden, but this is something we'll still talk about tomorrow, unless all of a sudden we get much higher inflation rate data than expected. But that is not expected. All right, that would also make it higher than expected. But yeah, so those are my thoughts for now. That's what I think you need to know. If you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.